shape through her center body, maybe sound her up a little bit in terms of her bone work to allow her to match top to bottom a little bit better. Young lady's predominantly black gilt that comes out of the last class. That one that's got plenty of spread, plenty of dimension as you study her there. That one is good in terms of her bone work. That one just gets a shot round if you want to pick on her. Maybe just not as fresh and not as good in terms of her shape as you read her there. But that's a stout one that's got plenty of spread and plenty of dimension. Young lady's off belt to go in the center of the ring. Comes out of one of the younger classes. Really like that one from an extension standpoint. That one's got enough shape for where she's at from a maturity standpoint as well. That one's extremely flexible as she comes and goes. So I think there's pieces and parts that you like and want to pick on a little bit on all these, but the one I keep coming back to is one that's probably the best in terms of extension, in terms of look from the side, one that balances and in relation to how much shape she has up high, really fits in terms of her patterns and everything fits together really well. She's the second best on the young ladies broken belts, and Yoda, the younger class will be reserved. Congratulations to her.
And your reserve grand champion market gilt goes to Lainey Goshorn. Final call for Class 1 Berkshire Market Barrow. Final call for Class 1 Berkshire Market Barrow. Entering the ring is Ryan Conover, Monica Osborne, Caitlin Greiner, Jack Judson, Nate Jensen, and Jack Judson. First call for Class 3, all other breeds. First call for Class 3, all other breeds.
Is there any waters back there, Will? They bring in the ice and all this morning? Okay, that's fine. Just give me some water. No, give me like 4 or 5 of them. Here, I'll just walk around and grab them.
The class of Berkshire Barrows to kick off the barrow side of things here. In the far side of the ring is going to go ahead and start this class. I think logically that one just fits the best out of anything as we want to study him out here. That one's right in terms of where she's at from a frame size and from a maturity standpoint. I think that one's got plenty of spread, plenty of dimension as you get on the top side of her skeleton or step in from behind. Would like to bulk her up a little bit in terms of her center body, give her a shot more skeletal width as we study her there. I think that one from an extension standpoint, from fitting right in terms of where she's at from a skeleton standpoint. I like her to go ahead and win this class. High presented barrel that the young man in neon is going to second. I definitely like that about that one. That one's got some dimension again as you get on the top side of his skeleton. Just for me today, that one's just a notch too modern in his kind. He gets a little too wasty in the lower third of his skeleton there. I think we can pick him up a little bit and clean him up in that lower line a little bit. We can give him a lot better look there, but definitely a high presented one that's going to land in second there. Young man in the gray shirt that's going to be in third. I think as we go on down the line here, there's some differences as sort here, but just that one from a carcass merit standpoint, I think that one's got plenty of spread and plenty of dimension as we read him there. But as we go on in terms of look, in terms of build, that one's probably the most comfortable, but still right in terms of his size as we study him there. I think the barrows that go in fourth and fifth are very similar in terms of their kind. Ones that got plenty of spread, got plenty of dimension there. Just need to clean them up in terms of their look and just make them a notch sharper as we study them there. Then the young ladies barrow that's going to round out the class, that one's got some bulk as you get up high. Just need to clean that one up just from a skin and hair standpoint. Just give that one a shot more look as we study them there as well. Nice class of Berkshire barrows to go ahead and start off this side of the show. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen.
And your champion Berkshire Market Barrow goes to Caitlin Greiner, and your reserve champion Berkshire Market Barrow goes to Ryan Conover. Both taking purples, Nate Jensen and Jack Jensen, shown by Sam, in blues, and Monica Osborne takes a red. Entering the ring for Class 3 all other breeds is AJ Harder, Zach Elliott, and Ethan Greiner. First call for crossbred market barrows, Class 1. First call for Class 1.
Man's Hampshire Bear on the center of the ring here is going to go ahead and start this class. I think one that does so fairly handily. As we get off to the side of that one's the stoutest in terms of his forearm, in terms of his foot as he goes down to the surface. That one's the tallest at the point of his shoulder, the longest from blade forward. And I think when you get on top of that one, he's extremely bold in the backside of his blade there and just ripped up in terms of his shape as you get on the top side of the skeleton. That one's got plenty as we step in from behind as well. Would like to fix that one a little bit on his front passers. He wants to just get a notch flat and twist in there, and at times wants to swing those rear two a little bit. I think a nice place to go ahead and start in this class. So again, on the far side of the ring, it's going to go ahead and be second. I think it gets close between second and third. I think that one, as you get on the top side of the skeleton, though, that one's got more shape. That one's more opened up behind his blade. Just more in terms of carcass merit there as we study that one. In comparison to our class winner, just want to clean him up a little bit, give him a shot more look, just give him more comfort as he leads us off those rear two. That means Nerdrock Bear that's going to go in third. Definitely one that I like from a skeleton standpoint better over the bear that's going to be in second. That one just gets a notch round for me in his overall makeup. Just need to lay him back in terms of his blade, clean him up a little bit in terms of his throat. Nice class of your bears there. Congratulations, those exhibitors.
And your champion, all other breeds, Market Barrow, goes to AJ Harder. And your reserve champion, all other breeds, Market Barrow, goes to Zach Elliott. Final call for Class 1 Crossbred Market Barrows. Final call for Class 1 Market Barrows. Entering the ring for Class 1 Crossbred Market Barrows is Brooklyn Buck, Zach Elliott, Kent Elliott, Caitlin Griner, Taven Moore, and Ethan Griner. First call for Class 2. First call for Class 2 Crossbred Market Barrows. Final call for Class 2 Market Barrows. Final call for Class 2.
into our first class of cross barrows here. And the young man's white barrow is going to go ahead and win this class and fairly easily, in my opinion. I think that one, you just step off to the side of him. That one's tall shouldered, extended, good and balanced in terms of his lines. That one's stout enough in terms of his feature. Nice place to go ahead and start this particular class. Young man directly ahead of me is going to be in second. Definitely think there's some differences as sort as we go on down second through the rest of the class. I think in comparison to a couple that go below it, that one's got the most in terms of spread and dimension on the top side of his skeleton there. I would like to fix that one in terms of his hawk and his passer, how he flexes as he leaves his there to move him up any higher. But he's got just in terms of shape and dimensions, we go on the top side of his skeleton. Over the black barrel of the young ladies, it's going to go in third. I think one, you like that one in terms of his extension. He's got some advantages in terms of his look up front. That one's obviously given up some just in terms of weight where he's at today in comparison to the rest of his class. I just like to fix that one in terms of his hawk. He needs to flex that one better as he goes away from us. Just give him a shot more everywhere we study him. Young lady's painted up barrel that's going to be next. That one's got some spread and dimension on the top side of his skeleton. That one just gets too frail for me today when we step in from behind. That one just wants to push his hawk too far as he gets on the outside of his skeleton there. That one's got some dimension as we get on the top side of his skeleton. We round out the class with a pair of barrows that got some advantages in terms of carcass merit. We just need to fix them from a skeleton standpoint and make them more comfortable as they go. Good class of barrows there. Congratulations, those exhibitors.
Congratulations to Taven Moore with your first place purple. Second place goes to Zach Elliott. Third goes to Brooklyn Buck. Fourth, Caitlin Greiner. Fifth, Ethan Greiner. And sixth, Kent Elliott. And entering the ring for class 2 is Alex Osmore, Lauren Harder, Braden Finneran, Lila Spencer, and AJ Harder. First call for class 3. First call for class 3. Just a reminder to all 4-Hers and 4-H families that south of the south parking lot, past the ropes, you need to be moved. Trailers need to be moved by midnight Saturday night for the shootout. Otherwise, you will be towed. So just all trailers, cars, vehicles need to be moved by Saturday at midnight.
Another nice class of market barrows to get in here. The young man's broken belted barrow. Going to be an easy place to start for me. Another one, get off to the side of that one. Paints an extremely good picture there. Get one that's got plenty of dimension as we get up higher in the center portion of the skeleton there. Checks the boxes from a flexibility and a build standpoint. Really like that barrow to go ahead and start this class. I think there's some sort, specifically as we get on down here, let's sit through second and third. Young ladies painted up barrow that's going to be second. Times to get a little harder to get a look on that one just in terms of the movement here on the ring. But as we study that one's got some extension from blade forward. He swears he goes away from us in terms of his hawk and where he meets the surface there, just comparatively to our class where there just gives up too much just in terms of look and in terms of extras as we study him. Young lady on the far side of the room that's going to be third there. Another one's got some spread and dimension up high. But one from a skeleton standpoint where she takes advantage over the two that are going to go below her. That one stays flexible and offers enough comfortability off both ends of her skeleton. Just want to clean that one up in terms of his head and neck. Just give him a shot more there through the center skeleton. Thought I got close between fourth and fifth. We have these two barrels around off the class. Like the young man's black bear to go ahead and be fourth. I think that one just fits a little bit better from where he's at in terms of up high, how much he has down there in the seat of his pants, and just balance as we step off to the side of him. We need to air that one up in terms of his tires on all four. Just wants to get too flat as he goes down to the surface. Like to clean him up in terms of his lymph node as we study him there. The bear that's going to round out the class. That one's got some real shape as we get on the top side of the skeleton. That one just gets a shot too short and too round off either end of his skeleton for me. Just need to fix him there and make him go a little bit better. But a nice class of barrels there. Go ahead and give those exhibitors a round of applause.
Congratulations with your first place purple to Alex Osmore. And your second place purple goes to Lila Spencer. Third place also gets a purple with Lauren Harder. And fourth and fifth, AJ Harder and Braden Finneran get a blue. Last call for class 3, last call for class 3. Entering the ring is Braden Finneran, Kent, Alex Osmore, Bella Lascala, McKenna Sick, Taylor Black, and Lila Spencer. First call for class 4. First call for class 4.
class of arrows here. Definitely a top pair that's going to be fun to sort. Just kind of talk the differences here, not in order. The young man's barrel, particularly in front of me there, like that one in terms of his stoutness and features. You study him with his forearm, really big in terms of his toes as he goes on down to the surface. I think gives you a good picture as you get off to the side of one in terms of being tall enough, shoulder, useful enough in terms of his look up front. That one's got enough muscles. You study him there. Change him in a couple areas, just a little bit fresher in terms of his shape up high and how he breathes there. You know, his throat lashing in through the lower third of his body there. Want to clean him up a little bit in terms of his hop shape as he leaves us as well. Like a really nice barrel there. They come down to contention between that one, the young ladies in the gray shirt on the far side of the ring. Got the first shot of that one when it came in the ring. I mean, that thing is man-chested when it comes at you. Extremely opened up as you study him there. I like that one in terms of his look up front. That one's better in terms of his throat, in terms of the bottom third of his skeleton as you read him there. That one's soft enough if you study him in terms of his feature, maybe not quite just as bold there in comparison to his maturity as the young man's barrel. That one I read him to be a notch fresher and a notch more genuine in his shape up high. I think it's close between those two, the one that suits me best, so good in terms of his look, one that's extremely fresh. They get on the top side of his skeleton, extremely opened up. Young lady in the gray shirt is going to go ahead and lead this particular class. Young man in front of me is going to be in second. Really fun pair to sort there. I think we get some differences here as we move on down, but the young lady that lands in third does so fairly easily, in my opinion. That one's got some skeletal width as we study him. He's got some shape as we get on the top side of his skeleton there. That one's extended there, and that's where he beats the ones that go below him. Just want to clean that one up in terms of getting through his center body there. That one's just a little too deep and a little too wasty there. But we can open up a little bit and I'll let him balance a little bit better to move higher in class there. The young lady in front of me here that's going to be in fourth, definitely have to appreciate that one just in terms of how much fresh and raw shape that one's got on the top side of the skeleton. And from when you step in from behind there, move him up any higher today. We maybe need to just tone him down a little bit. That'll allow him to go a little bit better off those rear two as he leaves us with one highly presented one that the lady does a great job showing there. A nice one to go ahead and land in fourth. Then I think we're going to go ahead and round out the class with three barrels here that got some advantages in terms of dimension and capacity. As we study them on the top side of their skeleton through their center body, we just got to fix them in terms of some skeletal flaws, make them more flexible, make them more mobile as they go. But a really nice class of barrels. Again, give those exhibitors a nice round of applause.
Final call for class 4. In class 3, first place goes for the purple, goes to Lila Spencer. Second place goes for the purple, goes to Alex Osmore. Third place goes to McKenna Sick for the purple. And the rest of the class are blues.
Hey, you guys got any tape so I can put it over this microphone on the live feed at all by chance? Apparently Jerry Snaple heard that I was talking to my wife over there. You guys got any tape so I can close that down? Oh, it's on again? Oh.
Entering the ring for class 4 is Lila Spencer, Maverick Kelb, Kylie Goodman, Luke Christensen, and Ryan Deichler. First call for class 5. First call for class 5.
Hi, Jerry. Thanks for viewing.
think another easy place to start in this class with the young ladies, thin belt and barrel. I mean, that's a good looking one. Step off to the side, really like the image that one portrays. Yet he's still flexible and has plenty of reach off both ends of his skeleton. Definitely appreciate that one for his fresh shape as you get on the top side of his skeleton as well. Nice place to start. Congratulations to that young lady. Young lady's belted or painted up bear that's going to be in second. One that's got the advantage, the ones that go below him just in terms of look, in terms of flexibility, and looking like a show pig there. If we want to move him up any higher, we just got to give him extras in terms of bone, in terms of feature, and give him a shot more in terms of look there, but a nice barrel that's going to go ahead and be in second. Little bear that's going to be in third. That one's got some advantages in terms of spread and dimension as we get on the top side of his skeleton. That one's bulky as we get through his center skeleton as well. We got to fix that one just in terms of sharpening him up in terms of his look on the bottom side of his throat and the top side of his neck there. Just give that one a shot more length of hip as we study him from behind. That'll allow him to give him a lot more flexibility as he leads us off those rear two. Young man that's going to be in fourth. That one's got some pieces in terms of some advantages and stoutness of feature and forearm shape as we study that one. We just got to get more in terms of center body of that one. That one's too dry, too flat, and too shallow. Need to fix that one from that standpoint. The young man that's going to round out the class. That one's got some advantages, dimension on the top side of his skeleton. We just got to bulk that one up in terms of muscle everywhere, in terms of feature, in terms of bone, but a nice class of barrels. Give those exhibitors another nice round of applause.
Taking first in class 4 is Lila Spencer with the purple. Second goes to Hallie Goodman with the purple. Third is Luke Christensen. Fourth is Maverick Cow. And fifth is Ryan Deichler with all blue. Entering the ring for class 5 would be Asher Goodman, Bella Lascala, Alex Osmore, Maverick Cow, and Hallie Goodman. First call for class 6. First call for class 6. Final call for class 6. Final call for class 6.
Nice class of barrows here, and I definitely think a good pair on the top end of the sword here. I'll just talk differences here as I see them, but the young lady's thin belted barrow is going to win this particular class, and I think that one, as you study these two, that one does not have the advantage in terms of shape. That one doesn't have the advantage in terms of spread up high. That one's not as wide as we get on the bottom side of the skeleton. I think that one, as you step off to the side, that's the one that runs uphill. That one creates a neat picture as you look off to the side of that one. In relation to his size and his maturity, he's stouter in terms of his feature, his forearm, and his foot as he goes down to the surface there. Would I like to make that one wider? Would I like to make him fresher to get on the top side of the skeleton? Yes, and that is where the barrow in second's better there. But that one's the shorter bodied option that's better in terms of his balance from the side. That one's still flexible enough off both ends of the skeleton. It doesn't arise any issues there from a skeletal build standpoint as well. I'd like that barrow to go ahead and lead this particular class. Now, nothing to take away from the barrow in second, because there's some very cool pieces about that one. When you get on the top side of that one skeleton, I mean, that one is ripped up and swallows you up in terms of his back shape, in terms of his pin set, where he's at from the upper hip down to his stifle standpoint as well. Where I take issue with this one, I need to change him out of his front end. He gets a little upright in terms of his blade, wants to paddle a little bit as he comes out up front. And then that one maybe just being a shot too long bodied there and being a notch flatter and drier through his center skeleton doesn't allow him to balance quite as well. It's the bear to go ahead and win this particular class. That's where I beat him. I still think that's an extremely high quality one and a nice one to land in second there. Young man's blue barrow that's going to be in third. I think one that's got some advantages in terms of dimension as you study him in comparison to the ones that go above him. Get off to the side of that one, no issues in terms of look, no issues in terms of balance there. He just gets a little bit plainer as you study him up to the front third of the skeleton there. Gets a little bit shorter, a little bit choppier as you study him out of his hip as he goes away from you. Really like the young man's barrow that's going to round out in fifth. And unfortunately, if this one didn't have a problem with the lymph node there, we would be working a lot higher in this particular class. I mean, that one is working an extremely big forearm, extremely big hind leg as he leads you. That one's appropriate in terms of his spread and his mass up high. Extremely stout in terms of his pin set. I call that one still good in terms of his look through his front 1/3. Just to today need to clean him up in terms of that lymph node. Unfortunately, happened to that barrow, but an extremely high quality one. My best luck down the road for that one. And then the young lady that rounds out the class, another one that's got a ton of spread dimensions. You step up high or in from behind. Just got to stout on that one in terms of his feature. Just give him a shot more look as we study in there. Nice class of barrows there. Go ahead and give those exhibitors another big round of applause.
Congratulations with your first place purple to Asha Goodman. Second place purple goes to Hallie Goodman. Third place purple with Alex Osdemore. Fourth place, Maverick Cow with the blue. And fifth place with the blue, Bella Lascala. Entering the ring for class 6 is Lila Spencer, Brian Deichler, Brooklyn Sedlock, and Haley Harder. First call for class 7. First call for class 7.
nice class of arrows. Easy place to start with the young lady in the gray shirt. I think that one, you step off to the side, that one's good enough in terms of his look. He's tall enough to the point of his shoulder, but really like that one in terms of, when you get on the top side of his skeleton, that one's extremely bold, extremely opened up, very fresh in terms of his shape as well. I think that one's got plenty of shape as you step in from behind as well. I think you evaluate that one from a skeleton standpoint. He's plenty flexible, plenty comfortable as you get out of the front end of his skeleton. We'd like to pick on him a little bit just as we study him there out of his rear third. He wants to get just a notch shorter and a notch rounder out of his hip. Just wish he'd allow that hawk to flex a little bit more, allow us to get more reach and comfort out of those rear two. I think that's picking on a really nice class winner there. Congratulations to that young lady. Thought I got closer between second and third. Young lady's painted up there that's going to be in second. Like that one just from a dimension standpoint, where he's at from a maturity and a size standpoint in comparison to the one that's going to go third. Want to move that one up any higher. We just got to make that one better in terms of his look up front. Just give him a shot more in terms of his feature to allow him balance a little bit better from top to bottom there. Young lady that's going to be in third. That one's really long necked as we study that one up front. That one's got enough shape as we get on the top side of his skeleton there. That one's just a notch too moderate for me today. We need to clean him up in the lower third of his skeleton. He wants to get a little bit waisty there. Just air him up a little bit in terms of his faster and set as well. Change him in those areas, though. I still think a high quality one that lands in third. Young man that's going to run out the class. Another one's got some advantage in terms of dimension, in terms of gain. We just need to stout that one up in terms of his feature, clean him up in the lower third of his skeleton. Another nice class of barrows there. Congratulations, those exhibitors.
Taking your first place in Class 6 is Lila Spencer. Second place goes to Haley Harder. In third place, also a purple, was Brooklyn Sedlock. In fourth place with a blue was Ryan Deichler. Final call for Class 7. Final call for Class 7. Entering the ring for Class 7 is Ryan Deichler, Chase Ryan, Alex Mass, and Ashlyn Boardman. First call for final drive market barrel, crossbred. First call for crossbred market barrel, final drive.
Young ladies, Calico Barrow is going to be an easy place for me to start in this particular class. Like, that one's good enough in terms of his look. That one's got enough shape as you get on the top side of his skeleton. That one's the stoutest as you read him in terms of his feature and in terms of his bone work. I'm going to pick on that one a little bit. Need to open him up in terms of his chest floor and his lower skeleton there. Just like to make him go a little bit better out of that hawk as well. But I think a high presented one, definitely appreciate that about that one. An easy and logical place to win just in terms of look, in terms of having enough everywhere we study him here. Young ladies, or young man's broken belted barrow that's going to be in second there. I think that one, just from a logic standpoint, having enough spread up high, being fresh enough in terms of the shape, but having the advantage in terms of feature and having the advantage in terms of extension there is where he services over the two that are going to go below him. We want to move him up above our class order. You just got to open him up a little bit in terms of his center skeleton, height him there in terms of the point of his shoulder. I think got closer as we get down to the barrows between third and fourth, and I think ones that have some advantages in terms of spread and dimensions, you get on the top side of their skeletons there. Ones we both want to clean up a little bit in their throat. To the lower third of their skeleton. The young man's home barrow there onto the surface over the young man's barrow that rounds out the class, but definitely some productive ones that are going to go third and fourth. Congratulations, those exhibitors.
First in the class in class 7 goes to Ashlyn Northman with a purple. Second in the class goes to Alex Mass with a purple. Third was Chase Ryan, and fourth was Ryan Deichler with blues. In your final drive of your crossbred market barrows, we have Zach Elliott, Taven Moore, Alex Osdemore, Lila Spencer, Alex Osdemore, Lila Spencer, another Lila Spencer, Hallie Goodman, Asha Goodman, Hallie Goodman, Lila Spencer, Haley Harder, Ashlyn Borthman, and Alex Mass. call for your final drive barrel show. First call for your final drive barrel show. Ryan Conover, you need to bring your vert to the back ring. Ryan Conover, you need to bring your vert.
I know we got a couple of drives left out here, but let's go ahead and give these kids another big round of applause. I think it's definitely deserving. I'm not typically one to hide kind of where I'm weighing and where my opinions are. I think it comes down to the two barrels out here, two that I extremely like in class. So I'm just going to talk them as they come in here. The young man's broken belted barrel, that'd be the lighter weight option. Really like that one from the side. I mean, that one is tall shouldered. That one paints a really good silhouette from the side. He's really stout in terms of his forearm, in terms of his foot size in relation to where he's at frame size and maturity wise. That one's got plenty of shape as you get on the top side of his skeleton there. Want to pick on that one ever so slightly. You just want to square up those front toes just a little bit. And at times maybe he's just a tick wide from me as he leaves me behind. I think that's picking on one that's really good there from that standpoint. And then the young lady's barrel to be the heavier weight option that comes out of one of those end classes, one that I talked there. I mean, that one is extremely big in terms of his chest floor. That one's opened up on the top side of his skeleton. Extremely stout in terms of his pin set. He has plenty there from his upper hip down to his stifle. Want to pick on that one ever so slightly. I think he gets a little bit plainer there as we study him at the bottom of his jaw and down through his sternum there. And maybe one in relation to how much he has up high. Maybe he just isn't quite as stout in terms of his ankle and where he goes down to the ground. So I think between those two barrels, it's extremely close. I think today, I mean, I don't think as we represent these pigs out here, I think there's differences, and I do think that is a good thing. I think quality comes in all different shapes and sizes, but the one that I'm going to end up and land on today just suits me better. I mean, one that's extremely good looking, one that I think has enough in terms of shape, but I awfully like this one from the side. Young man's thin belted barrel is going to be champion. The lady on the far side is going to be reserved. Congratulations to those two extremely good barrels.
Your champion crossbred market barrel goes to Alex Osmore, and your reserve champion crossbred market barrel goes to Lila Spencer. Congratulations. Final call for your market barrel, final call for the final drive market barrel.